It is really interesting how we're seeing cloud scale take over the conversation here in the mobile business. I mean, the ability to kind of have, the network operators think like public cloud, hyperscale, and how the two in the relationships, by the way,
Right.
that the two, we're starting to see more and more of the relationships between, the service providers, carriers, legacy infrastructure companies, public cloud providers. It's actually really exciting because the scale it's going to create. And that kind of leads me to where I want to ask you, Nokia, we talked about in the beginning, a ton of pedigree, a ton of legacy. How are you guys helping with this?
So again, from an infrastructure perspective, if I look at the main problems that our customers are facing in adopting this infrastructure, it's how to operationalize these cloud-native infrastructures. So we need to move them to Kubernetes infrastructure, we need to move them to data center infrastructures that are capable of dealing with the dynamicity that I was referring to. And from a solution perspective, we're doing some work here on something we call cloud adaptive networking. It's actually composed of a few different components. First, a data center solution for large-scale data centers, like the more traditional telco cloud type of data centers, scaling from a few racks to many racks, depending, of course, on who you are and what kind of population you're serving. On the other end of the spectrum, we are actually introducing solutions for edge. So, the adoption of edge or the move towards edge is another theme that we're seeing throughout the evolution of 5G now, and it's creating a new set of problems. Like the way I like to talk about it is when you have like central DCs and you have a few, if you operate those independent from the network and you have some kind of stitching to make these things work together, there's a few instances it's okay, right? You have one operational team here, another operational team there, you make them talk to each other to do this interconnect every now and then, fine. But once we start moving to much more larger scale distributed data centers, and you don't have 5 or 10 data centers, but you have 50 or 100 or 200, I mean, at this point, you cannot operate in silos anymore. We need to have a mechanism that basically glues these things together, and that's basically what we're doing with adaptive cloud networking.